do this song, and we're bringing everybody ain't playing long. Well, all right, y'all. Well, all right, y'all. Well, all right, y'all. I'm from the place where we know how to win, where we tear dynasties down and build them back again. In other words, we don't know how to lose. Here's a nice pack for those who think I'm about to prove. Sorry, you choose to cruise through your career while I choose to go hard to ensure I stay here. So don't be mad cause I got a little more than you. Attribute that to the fact I work more than you. Running around town saying this and that, how we sound like the Roots and our music is whack. Just because I don't backpack and talk about bustin' with Max and flipping birds, I'm still about my stacks. We grew up in the hood, but chose another path where it's crip or blood or you slang the bud. But we chose another point of view to perpetuate while some of y'all is real thugs, a lot of y'all perpetrate. We go hard while we do this song, and we pray that everybody ain't the same long. We'll all rank y'all, we'll all rank y'all, we'll all rank y'all. We go hard while we do this song, and we pray that everybody ain't the same long. We'll all rank y'all, we'll all rank y'all, we'll all rank y'all. We jump start like the beat of your heart. Microphones they be giving and we rip them apart. Leave a mark, they closing the case if need be. Who winning the race is Dub B. Not kicking curves, but I'm spitting the words. Living in this cold world got me flipping the bird. Just living life, say the game don't change. It's the same damn.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Worldwide Laker Talk. We are back for a post-draft show, for a post-coach introductory press conference show. Let's get right into it. Let's start with the introduction to JJ Reddick. Let's start with that first before we move to the draft. Give everybody a chance to come in. Let me get y'all thoughts on the draft. I mean, on the on his press conference. Did it make you feel a little better about him? Did it make you feel worse? Did it change your opinion? What are some of the things that were highlights for you guys? What did you like that he was saying? Let me know. Let's start with Quincy.
Well, I didn't mind the hire in the first place, but I knew JJ was going to knock the press conference out the park. I mean, the dude. I mean, that was some of the qualifications I felt that you need to be an LA coach. Know how to work the media, know how to talk to the media, and so I knew he would knock that out the park. What stood out to me, how the players he said he talked to. He said he talked to Austin Reeves. He said he talked to Rui, and talked to Max Christie, and never mentioned D'Lo.
Not once.
He didn't mention D'Lo not one time. But no, he showed a more modern approach to basketball. He talked a lot about adaptability on the fly, and and waiting to see what his personnel is before he's able to, come up with a system. Because a lot of coaches this is going to be my system, and either you fit in or you don't. So, I mean, he showed everything I thought he would show. I mean, you could tell he got high basketball IQ. I thought a lot of folks made a big deal out of him saying the F word a couple of times. That was like completely over exaggerated. If you pay attention, if you watch JJ podcast, you'll know he could be a potty mouth at a time. But no, and he even talked about like being open to coaching Summer League. I would like to see him coach Summer League. I think that would be a good start for him. Also, he talked about bringing in two people who have head coaching experience. Hey, their name is Dwayne Casey, because they actually is considering him. And I saw the name pop up. Remember, I kept on saying the black dude from Toronto Raptors.
Dwayne Casey. No, we got it that day.
Yeah. So,
yeah, and they mentioned Jock Vaughn too.
I think I actually like both of those. I know Dame mentioned Stan Van Gundy, which I think would be good. I think that was JJ's first coach.
Yeah,
and he actually mentioned on a different interview. I don't know. He actually mentioned that's the first time he heard of analytics was from Stan Van Gundy.
Yep.
So he seems like he's going to be the type that really relies on analytics and, like he said, in math. But also mix that, with what a good feel for the game was going on out there. But it looked like he's gonna be the type. He's gonna if a certain lineup, which is encouraging because I thought that was like the problem with Ham. We had lineups that was like plus 30 that he wouldn't play. And it's like everybody's post like, well, when these guys play together, we're plus 15, we're plus 20. When these guys play, we're negative, blah blah blah. And it's like Ham just didn't give a fuck. So to have a coach that actually gonna look at the data and go by that, but also mix that with the feel for the game was going on. It kind of went the way I thought it would go. Like I know JJ is pretty sharp and whatever, but like I said, I would like to see him coach Summer League.
All right. What about you, B? Did you get to watch the press conference, and what were some of your takeaways?
I didn't watch the live press conference or the full press conference. I got highlights of it through social media and whatnot. Just going through being a Laker fan the last since 2013, we've had like 7 or 8 coaches. So I don't think there was a press conference that I can point out that just didn't go well from going back to Mike D'Antoni. So I expected, like Quincy said, for him to be able to have a good press conference. He's very media savvy. He's very articulate. He's very intelligent. He's been around long enough to be able to say the right things. So I'm not going to take much from it anyways. The him dropping the F-bomb, like Quincy said on the podcast, I watched all the podcasts even because I figured that they were trying to condition us to get ready for him to be our coach anyways. So he does have a potty mouth. That didn't bother me either. But the question about trying to prove yourself, that goes back to what I was saying about being a Los Angeles Laker coach. You have to be prepared for those questions like that. And in just my personal opinion, I really don't give a fuck about what, that trying to prove myself. It came off kind of smug to me, kind of arrogant. Like, bro, you haven't coached at all. So like to say that was a valid question.
Hold on. The question wasn't that though. The question was about proving people wrong about the shit about LeBron getting him the job and all that shit. Like if you watch the whole press conference, that's what the question was about.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the misconceptions. It wasn't about him coaching. Yeah, it wasn't about him coaching.
So it was about LeBron getting him a job or whatever the case may be. Understanding that that's going to be a question when you get hired, when you do a podcast with LeBron, is something that you got to be prepared for that question. To me, because the media, LA media is going to play on certain things throughout the season, whether it be like we said, 2-game losing streak, 3 games. They're going to ask questions about that. If you lose 3 games in a row, but you're still 17-9, and they ask, "Were you lost 3 in a row?" You can't say, "Oh, you can't have a smug attitude with questions that come off that you're going to get asked that a typical coach in your position may not get asked." So that to me wasn't a good start for like getting those hard-nosed LA questions where you're not used to getting from other places, because you're going to be judged on an unfair curve in LA. That's just the way it is. If you have a podcast with LeBron, you're going to get asked that question.
Yeah, well, for me, I liked it because, like he said, he was like, "I don't give a fuck about none of that. I'm just want to win championships." And to me, that's more important than him saying he don't give a fuck. What was more important to me was after saying I don't give a fuck about that, the misconceptions about me. I care about coaching this team to championships and winning. That's all I care about. To me, that was the more important part than him cursing.
Yeah, because he said, I care about coaching the Lakers. I care about my players having the best career they can have. Like, he just didn't dismiss it as I don't give a fuck. But I thought it was important because when Max Christie had him 3 bad games and Laker fans start to turn against him, he could tell them, "Look, don't give a fuck about that." Like, and Max Christie knows that, like, pretty much I know you taking that same approach as well. So in those type of situations, and tell you the truth, you got to have that type of mentality here. Because if you listen to everybody and whatever criticism and you give a fuck, that's going to be your demise.
No, I agree 100%. Like, you can't listen to the fans, obviously. But my point that I'm trying to, maybe I'm not giving it a right spin on it, is the savvy enough to be able to manipulate the media to where you answering the question that you already expect to have. One of the people that do it the best is Dave Roberts and the Dodgers organization. He gets
Right.
asked all the
Right.
type of dumb questions because they lose, they don't win in the playoffs. He knows these questions are coming. They just lost. They won 113 games last year. They're going to ask the question, well, how do you feel about the? He's not going to say like give a meme and what I'm saying, because that I'm sure y'all on Instagram you see the whole. He's already become that was even though that wasn't the main point that should have been taken away from the press conference. That was the main point that came away from the press conference.
Yeah,
And that was kind of avoid those memeable moments. You can't give the media more fuel throughout the season.
Yeah, well, I think we're gonna get those memeable moments anyway from him, because I don't know if y'all saw this morning, even Stephen A. Smith was saying, he was like, I give JJ Reddick about 2 months before he cuts the media out. Like he said, it's gonna be 2 months before he cuts somebody out. He said, because that's more of his temperament. Like he's like a more of like an edgy guy. He was like he don't I'm trying one of them joints. He said he don't mess around, like he don't really play around. You know what I'm saying? He said, so he's like, I give him, he said, with his temperament and the questions they ask, I give JJ about 2 months before he cuts somebody out. But for me, outside of the press conference, I like that for the locker room. If he gonna give that to the press, I'm sure he's gonna be a fiery dude like that in the locker room. And that's what that's more what I pay attention to as well. You know, I'm like, oh, this is the kind of temperament. When you say you want a temperament of somebody that'll check LeBron, I feel like that's the kind of temperament. When you say you want the kind of temperament that's going to keep the locker room straight, I feel like that's the kind of, because I feel like Ham was too busy trying to be everybody homeboy. You know what I'm saying? And more than anything, he was too busy trying not to piss LeBron off.
Yeah, I agree.
And then, so right after the press conference, go ahead.
Let me read this real quick. Willie said it took Rouse about a year or so for him to handle the press correctly.
Yeah, Willie old enough to remember that shit, because I don't.
That's fucked up. I mean,
I love you, Willie.
Silly Willie. Nah, but that's different. The media back then is light years from where it's at now. So you got to come in kind of ready, because the moment you say something, it's going to be spilled everywhere instantly. Back then, you had to wait for the newspaper and some more shit to, for them to kind of know what you were saying. So here you got to gonna be media ready in today's game. But so right after the press conference, or a little bit after, some woman, what's her name, Haley something, said that she was called the N-word by JJ while she was at Duke, and now he's the Lakers head coach. That was the next thing that came out of it. Already making, that's just controversy comes with the job. So what was your takes on that?
I'll take it. Well, for me, I feel like, I'm not saying that it happened or it didn't happen. The timing was just kind of odd for me, because this dude has been in the NBA for 15 years. Even after the NBA, then he was in the press after that. And then he was with LeBron. So none of that time she felt like, you know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that was off to me, because I'm like,
what's the timing, right?
The last straw was him being a Lakers coach out of his whole career and everything. Like, so that's what it was for me.
The timing seemed weird to me as well, but I'm like unless I don't know who dropped the story or where it came from. I didn't see any sources where it came from, but I mean, I don't know. Has she been vocal about this before and it just didn't catch viral or did moment until he got the coach?
On Twitter. She made a post on Twitter.
And it was sourced that she never said nothing about this prior. Yeah. She never. Everyone went through and she had never mentioned anything about it before.
Nope. She made a tweet and people started sharing the tweet.
No, I know, but I'm saying she made the tweet about the Lakers. But how do we know? Because I saw someone on Twitter where they was like, they went through a whole list of like him being drafted, being a Duke. Somebody went through his whole career pretty much and was like, why she wait till now?
Yeah.
On Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're on Twitter or not. No. But I'm like, were we sourced to know she didn't say anything about it before and it just didn't get talked about, or did she just go out and randomly say it?
There's so far that there haven't been no history of her saying it or complaining or filed a complaint with Duke or anything.
Okay. Well,
So, it,
maybe
I mean, like Dame said, the timing, because she is like, and because it was like she was like disgusted, like, and now he's the Lakers coach. Well, shit, you should have been like, and now he's a lottery pick, like, and now the Clippers just gave him this amount of money. Like, I just don't understand, like, why all of a sudden, like, the disgust was when he became the Laker coach. Like, he wasn't discussed when he signed with Milwaukee, with Philadelphia, with Orlando, with the Mavericks, or now he on First Take. He was on First Take several times. Wasn't discussed in his face on TV, doing a podcast, but signing with the Lakers was now I'm disgusted. Like, I don't know, man. Just
y'all get that. If that's their first time mentioning it, then that's crazy. My next question before we get to this crazy comment we got on the screen real quick. But okay, so I said that to say, because when you were talking about him and I brought the I don't give a fuck part of it about the savviness. If that question was brought up to him, which it might, who knows? He hasn't had a conference since. He can't have that temperament. He can't have that.
Oh yeah, no, not for that. No, not
yeah,
for
right.
that.
So that's my thing. So that's what I'm interested in looking at, because you're gonna get those outlandish, and like I said, like Quincy said, she ain't mentioned it at any other point. So he can't have a dismissive, I don't care, I'm ready to coach or whatever. He kind of has to be able to maneuver, and I believe he has. Like I said on the previous show, when he was on with Stephen A, he was very articulate and very knowledgeable about speaking about certain issues and that nature. So I believe he does have the capability of being able to turn it on and turn it off. But that's the kind of dumb stuff you got to maneuver through when you're in LA. All of a sudden, he's Lakers coach. Now they want to say he's racist. After all these years, one person comes out, one person who's not even a celebrity, I don't know who she is, and it goes viral. Like, you're going to get little dumb things like that, and it's going to have to be addressed. You can't, when you're a player, I feel like you can kind of have more of a, because KD be saying some wild stuff when he gets asked questions. You can kind of hide that, but when you're a coach, you got to kind of come with a more, buttoned up, collared, PR type of answer when you're answering those type of questions. But you can go ahead and move on to that comment. That's crazy.
Look, I understand if you got beef with LeBron, but why Bronny catching strays? Like,
he got the same name,
Dominique Lanes. Why is Bronny catching strays? He's just a kid who got drafted. He ain't even did nothing yet.
That's crazy.
Yeah, tell me why tell me why the animosity. Let's talk about it, man.
Yeah, you can comment. Don't just comment that and don't give a rebuttal. You need to know. Did you see him at SC? He can dap you up or something? You saw him at Felix or something? Did you see? There was a guy on Twitter today that saw LeBron at a restaurant and he didn't take a picture with him, so he dropped LeBron's location and got a crowd there.
Oh wow,
hilarious!
That's hilarious. All right, this is a comment from Instagram from Mike Ant. I hope Reddick uses the N-words to all the N-words that are underperforming. Mike, you stupid dog. Yeah, so all right, now some people of course feel like JJ only got the job because of LeBron or because of the podcast. Let me ask y'all this. Even if that's what's that?
Somebody got something on in the background?
Yeah. Let me ask y'all this. Even if that's the reason he got the job, do you still feel he's capable? Like, do you feel like, all right, if he got the job because LeBron's his guy, do you feel like that makes him less capable of a coach? Or do you feel like, no, I've seen his X's and O's, I've heard him talk basketball, I still think the dude is capable? And because people saying he like just went from they acting like he was only a podcaster and never and never played basketball, right? And never called games. So do y'all still feel like he could be capable, or you know what I'm saying?
Let me go first, or Q go first? We're gonna take
it. You can go first.
I gotta wait and see, bro, because I just gotta wait and see, because I'd much rather, and I said it before, I know other people didn't really care about having any experience. I'd rather have a guy that was on the staff, at least to kind of see how a team is run, to coach, to see the ins and outs because it's a different vantage point from being a player as to being the coach. Just going back to Steve Nash, he's a 2-time MVP. I don't think he's just as, if not more, basketball knowledgeable than JJ Redick, and it just didn't work. Like I said, J. Kidd was the same way. J. Kidd's a Hall of Fame point guard, very knowledgeable. His first stint in Milwaukee didn't work. His second stint in New Jersey didn't work. He got to kind of go and get his wings under him, being an assistant, and then you see the adjustments he's made, and he's a hell of a coach now. So I got to wait and see. That's not the rule. To being a coach is you got to have experience. If he gets a good staff and he kind of gets a system in place and he can do it. But I do believe a big part of it was his relationship with LeBron. I mean, I don't see any other reason why you go and hire a coach that has no prior experience coaching at all. I do believe that LeBron wanted Ty Lue, and it didn't go that way. He probably leveraged that. Like the last time I wanted to coach, you guys kind of, didn't go after this coach. I feel good about JJ maybe when they talked about it, and that's kind of helped him get the job. But like I said, we can wait and see. We said that we ended the show like that last time. We're gonna see. But
can I say something too? Because people keep bringing up Steve Nash. I think that is the worst comparison to bring up Steve Nash in this situation as a head coach because of the situation he stepped into with some volatile stars that we knew wasn't going to work when they got there. Like we knew before we even knew who the coach was, we knew that locker room was not going to work. We knew that triad of Harden, KD, and Kyrie Irving wasn't going to work. So we were like, first of all, who's going to be the leader in that locker room? Who's going to, be the adult there? And who's going to be the one that be like, I'm the one that's going to take the blame when it's on me? Them the three that I was like, it's not going to work. So when people bring up Steve Nash, I feel like Steve Nash was in a totally different situation than all the other coaches you compared him to. That makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, I understand. But Steve Nash, I feel like that was like really like an anomaly in all
I
of
don't
the
think
coaches.
so. Because Steve Nash was so terrible at coaching, he didn't get a second chance anywhere else. That's just, if it was just the roster, he would have got chances other places, the way Jason Kidd did.
No, but I'm saying his situation to me is different because I'm sure he probably didn't get a second chance, but I'm like, how volatile and how crazy was that situation he was in? Like the situation he was in is not a normal situation. Like a lot of teams have dysfunction. A lot of locker rooms have dysfunction. But the amount of dysfunction trying to go in with KD, Harden, and Kyrie Irving, especially at that time and where they were mentally, I don't think that's the same as Jason Kidd not coaching well the first season. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think that's the same.
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, for sure. I get that.
Do you remember what the first thing Kyrie said when they got there?
Yeah, he said we coaching ourselves.
Said we don't need.
I think he said that before.
He said that before they hired anybody. He said that before they hired Jason Kidd. Before they hired Steve Nash.
Yeah, but it was the fact that I don't think Nash walked in with the same respect from the star players that JJ Redick is walking in with. It seemed like Steve Nash was more of a KD thing, and Kyrie was like, I really don't give a fuck. Because KD didn't say that. Because KD, you remember the reason why they hired Nash was because of KD. Yeah. KD wanted Nash because he coached them in Golden State. Kyrie wasn't rolling. And the fact that Kyrie was the emotional leader on that team, which is like having Kanye, like as far it was chaos. Which I think the first thing that JJ have over Nash is that the two stars automatically coming in the same respect, not just one of your stars, but both.
Yeah, I knew shit was gonna be wild when he said we coaching ourselves. We don't need no coach.
I was like,
niggas in trouble.
Yeah.
If I was the coach going in and I heard that interview, I was like, I'm not taking this job.
I think the test with JJ, I think we're gonna be one of the most prepared teams going in.
Yeah.
The thing would be is his adjustments mid games, his feel for the game.
And that's why I said it's going to be important.
That's important to have. To me, that's going to be the test.
Yeah, that's why it's gonna be important to have head coaches on the staff.
How we come out of timeouts? Because we used to come out of timeouts.
Dog, don't talk about Ham after timeout plays, dog.
And I hate to say this, we had some of the worst timeout after timeout plays I've ever seen since I've been watching basketball.
It was one in particular that I remember doing the Nuggets when he let them go on an 18-2 run. Like, he didn't call a timeout the whole time. He finally calls a timeout, and he has LeBron take the ball out, and it goes to Taurean Prince for a corner three. Do y'all remember that play?
Yeah, it's a pin down. Well, LeBron's under the basket, right?
Yeah,
it's under the basket. So he has AD pin Taurean Prince man on the block. He runs around that, and that frees his man because they're going to double AD on the, whenever AD gets within 5 feet of the basket, they double team him. So by him setting that screen, he runs around that pick to the corner, and LeBron throws it to him for an open three that he didn't make. I remember that play.
Dude, I was like, how is this the out of timeout play in the playoffs, and we need a bucket badly? And how did you let the lead get down from being up 20 and now we up 3? You call it timeout, we up 3. So that's why I said it's going to be very important to me who he has on his staff, the head coaches. Well, I heard Jamal Crawford might be coming to be behind the bench too. Like they're talking about Rondo and Jamal Crawford.
Yeah, but to me, that's going. I think the initial game plan, we're gonna be prepared. We're gonna be one of the most prepared teams. The test for him will be the things you can't predict, like in the middle of the game, like when they throw something at you that you haven't seen on film, and you got to make that adjustment. That to me, that's and rotations and putting players in the right position to succeed. So that's why I think he should coach Summer League.
I agree, just so he can start getting a feel for the game. I think Ham biggest. Well, Ham had a lot of problems, but I think to me Ham one of Ham's biggest deficiencies was his feel for the game. When to call timeouts, when to take AD out, when to keep the hot hand in, like. Like you seen so many times AD be like, why are you taking me out right now? Like, I'm cooking. Why are you taking me out?
With JJ being a shooter, I think he gonna leave hot. I mean, because he know that feeling.
Well, I told y'all my theory. My theory on Coach Ham was in Cam Reddish, Taurean Prince, and all them players like that, he saw himself. Like, these are the dudes who don't get a chance on the other team, so I'm gonna give them their chance. Stuff like that, and that's why I felt like he was benching people like Reeves. You sit down, Taurean, go cook. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like Cam Reddish, go cook. Like I feel like he saw the guys.
Accused him of favoritism? Somebody accused him of favoritism. It was
Russell. When it
was
D'Lo.
Yeah, D'Lo.
Yeah,
D'Lo accused him of favoritism.
Yeah, D'Lo's talking about he like how he is with the guys that he coached before. And this was before AD, like I said, when AD finally said, like, we don't know what the fuck we doing. Like,
that was in the coffin.
So Rebecca said, stop bringing up old shit. She said, we trying to heal. So we're going to move on to the draft, man. So with the 17th pick, you know what I'm saying? The Lakers was able to draft Dalton Knecht. What y'all think?
I think it was a steal. I literally had him going in the lottery. I didn't see in every mock draft that I saw the lowest I saw him go was 11. I really thought that he wouldn't be there. I didn't, and I heard that when the Lakers invited him to work out, his camp declined because they didn't even think he would be sitting there at 17. Of course, it looked like it seemed like he was penalized for being 23. But I like a player with a journey. He went to JUCO first. So he kind of don't have your traditional journey to the league, but it seemed like they remember he's 6 months younger than Jaime Jaquez.
Wow.
Yeah, he's 6 months younger than Jaime Jaquez. So I think I think we needed a player that was mature, that's ready to come in now and play, not somebody who's 18, 19 that we're gonna be sitting down for the next 2-3 years trying to wait for develop. I know a lot of people say, I saw somebody say JJ drafted himself. Other than he's white and he can shoot, that's the only thing different. I mean, the only thing similar. Other than that, JJ didn't have a 39-inch vertical
at all.
at all. JJ didn't have a 6'9" wingspan and could create off the dribble like this dude. So
yeah,
he could score on all three levels. So I know like everybody highlighting the shooting, which we need. I think his splits was like he shot 50% from the field, 40% from three, and 77% from free throw. So I mean, he's a natural shooter, but I think he's a steal. I was surprised that he was there at 17, and it seemed like the Lakers remember from their mistake last year. You got a lottery pick sitting there. I don't give a damn what position he is. You take him.
Yeah. I feel like they messed up because they could have had Jaime last season, and they could have had Whitmore. They missed both of those.
So, which the whole thing was Jaime Jaquez and Whitmore. They didn't even work them out. So they drafted the player that they worked out, which it seemed like this year they learned from because they didn't work out connect. So I thought it was a good pick. And this is the first time I watched all the outlets to see a response, and everybody is saying good things about this pick for the Lakers.
Yeah, I think it's a good pick. And like you said, I think the thing that made him slide is the thing that we needed to our advantage. The fact that he slid because he's older, we need somebody who will be able to step in a la Austin Reeves immediately. You know what I'm saying? Who else was a 4-year? Was it Kuzma that had played?
Kuzma,
yeah, like our 4-year players that come in as rookies, they end up giving us more time.
Yeah, Josh
Hart. Yeah, so they're closer to being ready to go. So I think the thing that made other teams want to pass on him is a thing that's going to be an advantage to us. Do you think he starts, or you think he's first off the bench?
No, I think he's gonna come off the bench. That's a good spot for him. But I think he's gonna play enough to develop to where when we need him come April, he's gonna have enough experience throughout the season. I hate to go back there. I feel like we just beating him up, but which I felt like we should have did with Max Christie. Like we should have been playing Max Christie all the way throughout to time. He was ready to be a part of the playoff rotation.
Max Christie was one of our best perimeter defenders, and we didn't use him at all.
Yeah, so I think he definitely, because we need shooting. Shit, we 28th in shooting. So we need shooting. So if he come out and he shows that, he can make buckets, because he's not gonna get the attention that he had at Tennessee. At Tennessee, they was blitzing him with 2-3 guys at times. So he's not gonna get that attention. So he gonna get a lot of wide open looks. He just gotta knock them down.
Speed.
Yeah,
we got a Clipper fan in the building, ladies and gentlemen. In case y'all don't know, that's Speed, the #1 Clipper fan. Rebecca said you ain't shit, Speed.
Hey, well, you know what? I'll say this about the Clippers real quick. Shout out for drafting Cam Christie, Max Christie brother.
Yep, yeah, they drafted Max Christie's brother.
Yeah,
Daniel's excited about it.
No, Cam Christie is dope. I like his game.
Daniel excited about anybody that put on a damn uniform. He's excited about Harden. He couldn't stand that nigga before you.
He said Daniel excited about anybody put on a damn uniform. He's excited about Harden. He couldn't stand Harden. Fuck Harden. We remember.
Yeah. Like they can pick me up. They got my nigga B-Ray. I can't play a lick, man.
Dude has a skilled, well-developed offensive bag. Yeah, so I'm interested to see what they do with Christie this summer. This year. I think he was one of the players JJ Reddick talked about too. And if y'all don't know, if y'all ain't heard, D'Lo unfollowed the Lakers today and unfollowed AD. I was like, I don't know why AD catches strays. So,
You're like, fuck me. What did I do?
yeah, why fuck me? So I think he's gone. So I'm hoping we can do a sign and trade to bring in somebody with it, because that's 18 million that can go far.
Yeah. We can't really make a move until he decides. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
We can make a move, because if he doesn't, if he opts in, then he gonna get traded. If he opts out, then the only thing we're gonna have to our advantage is the 13 million.
Yeah, they said we won't get the full MLE, will we? We would get the full MLE if he opts out. Okay, so 13 million, but 13 million is a big difference between 13 and 18 when you're trying to bring somebody in. So
I mean, but at least they know what they're dealing with. I don't think.
Yeah.
And it came out that JJ doesn't want to trade Austin Reed, so that nigga. I don't think JJ. He's trying to turn us to Duke. All them damn white boys. He know the Lakers only got a 2 white boy minimum. That's it. We don't go over 2 white boys on the Lakers. Well, that's right. More than 1 white boy. I mean, more than 2 white boys on the Lakers.
I'm gonna tell you when we had Chris Mims,
Steve
Travis Knight, and there was one more on that
team.
Steve 3. Steve Blake. Yeah, Steve Blake.
Yeah.
That was the last time.
Those were good years.
Those was not good years.
Yeah, the Lakers have always.
It was actually 3.5. We had Robert Sacre too.
Yeah, Lakers have always been a pro-black team. We have never. We keep a 2 white boy minimum.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. So we got to be on. D'Lo watch to see what he do. Josh said that team was so bad. When Robert Sacre was just getting hung.
Hey, Josh, I'm glad you said that, because we got Laker fans talking about, the team is being ruined and we in the worst stint of the Lakers. Like, I'm like, dude, y'all got amnesia. I remember when Ramon Sessions was like the best player on our team.
Dude.
Chris came and was going to sleep and eating nachos on the bench.
No, who was the fake? What was the fake Kobe? LaRon Prophet. Remember that team with LaRon Prophet? And you cut on team, you couldn't tell if it was Kobe or LaRon because he wore his socks the same way, he wore his armbands the same way.
LaRon Prophet. We would do some stages here for people to just be like, this is Robert Sacre.
Robert Sacre, Jordan Hill, Nick Young, them years, dog. Carlos Boozer, and Anton Jamison.
And he wasn't there. It was Lynn. Lynn was there. Jeremy Lin was the point guard. Yeah.
Hey, see, that's what I'm talking about, Demont. When Doug Christie was our best player. When we thought we was gonna build around Doug Christie, like
Doug Christie was gonna be our next star. Y'all be forgetting.
No, what about the first years after Shaq with the Miami? We had Chucky Atkins. Remember Chucky Atkins here?
Dude, we had Chucky Atkins. We had Brian Grant.
Jermaine Jones was our starting small forward.
Oh my God.
Like Doug Christie, Pig Miller.
That's why I understand people talking about this is the worst the Lakers ever been, and we the laughing stock. I'm like, what are y'all talking about?
So many coaches, like, nigga, we went through Mike Dunleavy, Randy Funn, Magic Johnson. Like, you understand? Like, that's what I was like. Y'all just started being Lakers fans around 2010.
Antonio Harvey.
Antonio,
y'all real Laker fans. Y'all remember the real bad years.
Why my cousin go off on Antonio Harvey? Dario, where you at? Look, so he asked Antonio Harvey for an autograph. And Antonio Harvey was like, "You're not wearing my jersey." And my cousin was like, "Nigga, what jersey? You got like 5 of them. It's like your 15." He just went in on Antonio Harvey. Like, dude, when we had Buddha Edwards.
He said Smush was our next star. We wouldn't let him cook.
No, when Buddha Edwards was starting for the Lakers, go look it up. Buddha Edwards was like 47 years old.
Dude,
starting for the Lakers.
That's why I say, like, when people be talking about right now, we the worst that we ever been, and they can't wait till this era is over. I'm like, what are y'all talking about, dog? Like, I understand we ain't winning championships, and I'm ready for LeBron era to be over just because I'm sick of all the infighting.
Hey, Josh, I feel you. Brian Cook used to frustrate. If it was one nigga I wanted off the Lakers, was Brian Cook. I hated that we gave Brian Cook. Brian Cook.
You said what? Yeah, they are, but it ain't never been this bad with LeBron and Laker fans beefing like this. It's so crazy, and that's gonna bring us to our next subject. Bronny James has been picked with the 55th pick in the draft. He will be probably in the G League. I know Brandon Red was not a fan of Bronny getting picked with the 55th pick. I know Quincy was. Let me get y'all thoughts. No, he said he's not doing a two-way contract. He's gonna be in the G League.
Oh yeah. You don't have to be on a two-way to go to the G League. Your first rounders, you can send. I mean,
you can send your first rounders to the G League. So yeah.
Yeah, he going to the G League. Well, you know what, man? I'm because I don't want to sound redundant from the last show, so I'm gonna take the human element of this situation. You know, I see the reason why I won't criticize this, because I do the same thing if I was in the same situation. If I'm on the Lakers and Isaiah want to play for the Lakers, and I can make that happen, I'm going to make that happen. And I think that sometimes we forget. I look at LeBron as a guy who grew up without his father, and he's trying to be the best dad he could be to his own sons. And to experience what they experienced last year, which is Bronny wasn't here for from what I was told, about 30 or 40 seconds. Bronny had left Earth. And so for to be a father, to be able to empathize with that, and knowing that the only thing your son wants is his name called, I can't say that I would do anything differently than make that happen, knowing everything he has endured over the last year. And I think sometimes because we get so caught up in just basketball, we forget that this is the human being element of a father and a son, and you know, and I just think this is a dad just doing what he could to give his son what he wanted. And I know when Rich Paul came out, because they said Rich Paul was calling teams saying Bronny will go to Australia if they draft him. Man, agents do that shit every year. We just don't hear about it. I could go back. I'm old enough to remember when R. Tellum was telling teams don't draft Kobe.
Yep.
Go see John Calipari quotes on that they was threatening teams like, if you draft Kobe, he gonna go to Italy and play. So it's been going on for years, and that's sometimes I just think that when people criticize LeBron and they try to make it like certain things just started with him, blah blah blah. Some of this shit been going on for ages, years. It just for some reason, you know, and I'm gonna let Dame get into the nepotism. It just this outrage of nepotism on social media is insane right now, where there's been nepotism throughout professional sports for years. And Dame, I'll let you touch on that.
No, go ahead. What you say, Q? I'm sorry.
I said that there has been nepotism throughout sports for years. Now I'll let you.
Well, I was gonna say, like I said, first of all, if you're a Laker fan and you screaming nepotism, you're being a hypocrite, because literally our whole organization is ran based on nepotism. Jeannie Buss is the president. Why? Because her daddy was. Who are our biggest scouts? Her brothers. Who had the team and was the GM before he got fired because he was about to actually run the team into the ground by giving Mozgov $67 million and Luol Deng $75 million.
No, hold up. He was going to trade our young core for Paul Millsap.
Yeah. And who's the GM now? Because he was the agent for Kobe Bryant. Like literally, our whole organization. Who is the vice president of media at? It's Linda Rambis, Kurt Rambis' wife, who is Jeannie best friend, been Jeannie best friend since Magic was playing. Kurt Rambis, this nigga keep a job no matter what at the Lakers. So, and I don't have a problem with that because I think it's dope. Who does our play by play? Who does our Stu Lance? Who does our after post show? James Worthy, Robert Ory. Lakers take care of their own. We always have. So it's not nepotism just even with the family. It's even nepotism with the way we take care of our former players, our star players, and all of that. So I'm like, I feel like it's a bit hypocritical to scream nepotism when literally our whole organization is kind of run like that. And I think that's the thing that people like about the Lakers, especially players. Like I said this to people don't remember when Kobe got that $50 million contract at the end of his career, post Achilles. This was after his Achilles injury. They still gave him 50 million, 25 a year, took care of him. Dwayne Wade and LeBron James was like, that's how you take care of your star player. I think it's one of the reasons LeBron ended up coming, actually. You know what I mean? So we took care of him at the end of Magic career. I don't know if y'all remember because it was a long time ago, so some of y'all might not.
We made him the first black owner.
Not only made him first black owner, remember Jerry Buss gave him the first $25 million contract, but it was going to be $1 million a year for 25 years. Before he, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we always, at the end of Kareem's career, we always take care of our stars more, especially if they were lifelong Lakers at the end of their career. We always take care of our stars. So the fact that people think we wouldn't take care of LeBron at the end of his career, I get it if you don't like him, but another thing I like to bring up to people because people like, why does Jeannie do all this for LeBron? I was like, I don't think y'all understand. LeBron for Jeannie is what Magic was for her dad. LeBron bought her first championship without her brothers, her first champion, without her other brother that she kicked out, and without her dad. Her first championship, the beginning of her legacy as the owner of the Lakers, came with LeBron. So no matter what, she's always going to have a special place in her heart for LeBron, just like she had a special place in her heart for Kobe. You know what I mean? Because like you hear the way she talks about Kobe, she loves Kobe, she reveres Kobe. But the reason she does all the things she does for LeBron, because I'm going to give y'all a quick history lesson. LeBron helped bring us back to prominence as an organization, because before him, remember we couldn't get a meeting with LaMarcus Aldridge for free agency, couldn't get a meeting with Carmelo Anthony. We did them stupid ass billboards for Dwight Howard. He still left. We couldn't even keep Dwight Howard in free agency.
KD
he went to Houston.
Kevin Durant didn't.
KD wouldn't give us a meeting and said the organization is in shambles. I don't know if y'all remember all that. We couldn't even get free agency meetings. Somebody said, did y'all have that same energy when Luke Walton, terrible ass, got drafted? But we couldn't even get free agency meetings. So then when LeBron came back, it helped stabilize it at the same time with her kicking her brother out, her bringing Magic in, even though Magic was on some weird shit. Her bringing Magic in, her bringing Rob Pelinka in, and then our front office got stable again, and then we were able to get LeBron, and then we were consequently able to get AD. So that's the first part. And the second part,
which Clutch Sports help with?
Well, that's what I was about to go into. I said the reason people like why Clutch and LeBron, they letting LeBron and Clutch run it. One, I will say this quote from Rich Paul. He said, if LeBron was running the Lakers like y'all thought, Ty Lue would be our coach and Kyrie would be our point guard. So that's one, just to dispel that he gets every single thing that he wants. When he first got here, he didn't even get the coach he wanted. And that's how we ended up in the predicament we're in now. But that's for another show, for another day. And then two, a lot of people don't remember, we were having problems with agents getting players to the Lakers because the agents didn't like the Lakers. Like, I don't know if y'all remember, Paul George agent didn't like us. D'Angelo Russell agent didn't like us. There were a lot of agents that weren't letting their free agents come to the Lakers or talking them out of coming to the Lakers. And then Clutch was dealing with it on the other side. A lot of teams wouldn't deal with Clutch because they wasn't trying to let a black dude into the good old boys club of the agents. So what happened? NBA ain't messing with us. The other teams ain't messing with us. Lakers and Clutch linked up. And because of that, that's why they have the relationship they have now. It's not just because we just needed LeBron so bad. No, it's because we were getting hated on by not only other teams and other owners, we were actually getting hated on by agents. So that's just to give y'all like a little backstory of why things went the way they did and why our relationship is the way it is with Clutch and why we were able to get AD when we thought we probably weren't gonna be able to get him in a trade, why we were able to get AD to sign an extension, while we're able to get, a bunch of other, while we had KCP. Because remember, everybody was mad we gave KCP that first deal. But then when he became the role player that he is now, people how soon they forget. Let me see. Luke Walton has stats in college. 6 points a game gets you drafted. Well, that's okay. So
somebody went in the first round averaging 3 points a game.
Well, first of all, so we can talk about
this draft.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we can talk about this draft in particular. First of all, this draft I'm talking about from the beginning, not even second round. This draft was whack. Like this draft was like probably one of the wackest drafts that I've ever watched or paid attention to. One of the weakest, and the reason we was able to get Dalton is because I think anybody could go anywhere. Somebody could either be a draft pick or they could drop to, they could either be a lottery or drop to the bottom of the first because you didn't know who was who. The French connections came in when Yaba done got 4 dudes drafted this season. You know what I'm saying? Like people you ain't ever heard of was getting drafted in the top 10. So that was the first thing, that this was a very weak draft. I think this was probably the weakest draft since Anthony Bennett went number 1. Y'all remember that draft?
Yeah.
The draft was very, very bad. So that's one, and then two.
I think that's why Bronny came out this draft.
Yeah, because I think if he came out next year in a deep draft, I don't think Bronny gets drafted in a deep draft. Just to be honest, in a real deep draft, I don't think he's gonna get drafted. But I will say this: like, I've never seen people care this much about the 55th pick in a draft. Like, we 4 away from the last pick. It ain't like we was about to get who y'all expected we was gonna get with 4 picks left. You know what I mean? And like I tell people, one, with the 55th pick, you're gonna get the most money and the most burn out of LeBron's son as a 55th pick. Like just from a marketing standpoint, G League games are gonna sell out. Whenever he do get called up to play a game, it's gonna be a spectacle with him and LeBron on the same team. So they're gonna make history in that, right? Like just good business to have him come to the Lakers. If now what I thought the Celtics was gonna be petty and draft them right before, because they had the 54th pick. So I thought the Celtics might be petty and get him with the 54th pick, but they didn't. Let me read Daniel's comment. He said the LeBron era has been very volatile. I will acknowledge that, but we won a championship. We made a Western Conference final run. The NBA is different now. You win in today's NBA by proxy of team, not just having superstar. This LeBron era has been way better than where we were the previous 6 seasons and where we would have been had LeBron not come. That is a very astute observation, and I agree with you. Having a championship in the Western Conference final, like I said, I don't think the LeBron run has been bad as people try to make it seem and try to make it feel, but people were really like acting like they were sick that we picked Bronny with the 55th pick. Like people making posts like nigga on suicide watch. And I said I would understand that if we would have like, all right, let's use the 17th pick on Bronny. I would be with y'all.
I told you, LeBron wouldn't have let Rob. If Rob would have called LeBron and say we finna pick Bronny with the 17th pick, LeBron was like, "No, you not," and hung up the damn phone. I can't believe.
Oh damn! I forgot about. Speed said we forgot about the 2000 draft when Stromile Swift was number 2. That was another terrible one too.
Wait! Who was number 1 that year?
Who went number 1 in 2000?
Powell.
Oh, he said Powell. Powell.
That was Powell's draft, right?
Oh, he said it's Kenyon Martin. It's Kenyon Martin.
That was Kenyon Martin draft.
What draft was Powell in?
I don't think Powell was 1. I don't think
we gotta
Powell.
Look it up.
I don't think Powell was 1.
Paul Gasol was 2001.
2001.
What
Yeah,
was
Kenyon
that
Martin was
Yao
number
Ming
1.
draft?
Kenyon Martin was number one.
Kmart. Kwame Brown was the first draft in Powell's class.
Kwame Brown was number one in Powell's.
And Powell,
Yeah.
yeah. Powell was. I know Powell was the one. Yeah.
And Tyson Chandler was number two.
No, this draft is, dude. Don't be surprised if you see like the 30th pick be Rookie of the Year.
Hey, anybody got Luke Walton's college stats?
I thought Luke.
He
I remember
averaged like 15. He averaged like 15 and 16.
Yeah, I was say.
He didn't average 3
in
points.
college. Luke. I remember that Arizona team.
Hey Daniel, you have a good point. So I was asking people when they was like getting mad, like, "Oh, I hope we don't pick Bronny. He's gonna make us a joke." I said, "All right, so who gonna pick? Who will we pick at 55? Like, who's there? Like, I really wanted to know. Because first of all, like I said, I barely knew who he was gonna pick in the damn first round because the draft was so bad."
Yeah.
Like,
Quincy asked me that question last week, and my point to that was, I'm not naive. Like, I know the whole LeBron wants to play with his son, and it's not that it doesn't really hurt the structure of the team drafting Bronny. It's dope to have a father-son combo. I wasn't like, oh, they can't draft him at 55. My point was, I don't know any names, but he's not the 55th best player in the draft. He wasn't the 55th best player in college last year. He wasn't the 55th best player in the world, which that's what that symbolizes. He got drafted based off the power of clutch, his dad, the Lakers having the perfect pick and everything going right. That was my point. I can't say, oh, they should have drafted John Doe over him. That wasn't my point. My point was that he's not the 55th best player in this draft. He hasn't put on any film. The example that Quincy had used was, I think Gary Payton, who can model his game after. He went to a JUCO. He went to I almost said Michigan again. I get him and Jordan Poole confused all the time. I don't know why. At Oregon State, he went there. He was All-American, Pac-12 All-American. He was Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. Got drafted. Didn't get drafted. I mean, he still went undrafted after all that, and took him like 4 or 5 years to get his momentum in the NBA. So that's my point with Bronny. Him being smaller, a tweener, not really having a position to play, and doesn't have any quality games against NBA talent. He wasn't a draft prospect, and that's just what it was. I knew he was going to get drafted. I have no problem with it. It's just a matter of the Lakers have made a habit of drafting great in the second round. I didn't know who Thomas Bryant was. I didn't know who Jordan Clarkson was. I didn't know who Ivica Zubac was. These are all second-round picks Lakers made that ended up being NBA bodies. So they have shown the proponent of being able to find somebody late in the draft that can be an NBA talent and stay in the league. So that was my point. I don't know. It's not my job to be a scout. I don't know.
No, they have, but a lot of those guys you named, they wasn't like 55. Like they was like early second round. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, Zubac was, but I mean, Clarkson was 46. Thomas Bryant was 47. It's not that. Like you said, at the end of the draft, after you get no,
Bryant was 42nd.
42nd.
Yeah. Once you get to 55, these are guys. I mean, you got guys going to Austin Reeves route, telling teams, "Don't even draft me. Let me go to who I want to go to." You know, at that point, it's like there's some guys they don't even want to get drafted at that point. Yeah, they want to be able to go undrafted to sign who they want to be with.
Yeah, Zubac was drafted 32nd. He was the 32nd pick.
Nick Van Exel was 37.
Yeah, he's been around more high quality basketball. He's only played against NBA. Well, my thing is, I think from what I've heard about other NBA players who worked with Bronny, and what I've heard from, people who've been around him, they say he got a very high IQ, very hard worker, and they think he has a chance to, to contribute at some point. And I think that was more the comparison to Gary Payton second than his actual route. To the league.
Yeah, and then you make this point, like, it's also a business deal.
Yeah.
South Bay Laker games, they're gonna sell tickets.
Because remember when Shaq's son got drafted, them South Bay games were on TV all the time.
Yeah.
Like almost
every time. You didn't get drafted.
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying on the business side. I'm saying once he was on the South Bay Lakers, those games started being on TV. People was actually going to the games when he was playing too, but we didn't have that many South Bay Laker games on TV before Sharif had signed.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I was talking about for the business wise, like people will be at Bronny's games.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you'll make them. This is the most money you'll ever gonna have a chance to make off a 55th pick, guaranteed.
guaranteed.
Guaranteed. This is the most money you're gonna be able to make off a 55th pick.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
I don't know.
I think overall we had a good draft. I think we, feels like we're headed in the right direction. Is there any free agents y'all think that we'll be able to bring in, or is there any trades that y'all want? Before we get out.
We need a big. What I'm looking at is Portland drafted a center with a lottery pick. So I'm curious to see what they're gonna do with Ayton and what's the other guy? I can't think, because they got like 3 centers now. And he was pretty good as well. The other center that they have. But no, I think at this point we need a big. I know a lot of people was upset that with that 17 pick we didn't draft a center, but you got. I think the Lakers you got to draft the best person on the board at that time. And if a lottery pick drops to you, you have to do it. Especially you got Andre Drummond, who's going to be a free agent. Hell, JaVale McGee, he'll be a free agent again. You just need somebody who's going to plug in about 20 minutes and be able to hold their own. Nobody's going to stop Jokic, but at least be able to hold their own to the point our whole defense ain't collapsing every time.
Yeah.
Every time he gets the ball.
And then you need somebody to take a little bit of defensive pressure off of AD. AD didn't have to do everything last season.
Yeah.
Like, I know everybody was like, "Oh, AD guarded 1 through 5," but he shouldn't have had to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was too many times we had AD who was trying to be the savior on the perimeter and by the rim. So the centers they got are DeAndre Ayton, Robert Williams III.
Yeah, Robert Williams III. Yeah,
I would take him. I think he would be good. That type of player with that type of motor, I think that's kind of pretty neat somebody alongside AD. Honestly, I think if you give Jackson Hayes more burn,
he was on Boston, right? Robert Williams III.
Yeah, he was on Boston.
Yeah. I like him. I like his game.
Yeah, but I feel like they didn't use Hayes the right way when we had him last season.
Somebody else. What do you guys think about? Because the Lakers like to take on challenges of resurrecting.
Careers, yeah.
Especially guys who was lottery picked. I think Detroit going to let go Wiseman. What do you think about?
I would take Wiseman. You see, because the thing is, when you get somebody like Wiseman, we don't need him.
How old is he?
Everybody thought they was.
He's like 22 now, right?
I think so. Let me see. Let me check. James Wiseman is 23. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the right time to actually go scoop him up. And he had some decent games for Detroit last year. And I think if you put him in a situation to where he don't have this pressure of being, what was he the number 2 pick?
Something like that, yeah.
Wiseman, he was number 2, where he could just go and just, don't have to deal with the pressure of being the number 2 pick, and just be able to just focus, because LeBron and hell, even Bronny gonna have more spotlight and scrutiny than him, where he can just focus on basketball and just play it. I think that would be a good pickup, especially for
he was number 2. He was number 2 draft. He was number 2 pick by the Warriors. Yeah.
Yeah. So there are some bigs. Me personally,
the Warriors
I prefer a veteran big. I prefer a veteran big over a rookie big.
Yeah.
So and there's some good bets we could put out there, but we definitely need a center. We need a 5.
Yeah, I think our biggest need is a center and another wing if Vanderbilt is not going to be healthy.
Yeah, and then the wild card is D'Lo. If you opt in, where you trade them. If you opt out, how you going to maneuver? Or who become your number 1 trade piece at that point? And it looked like it's probably going to be Rui.
Yeah, but I also think Rui is the kind of player that JJ wants to keep. So, but I know at some point he probably gonna have to trade somebody to get the pieces in that they feel like they need to bring in. But like I said, I think sometimes the mistake the Lakers make is sometimes swinging for a home run when we only need a single.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes we don't need a star. We just need somebody like a Jeremy Grant, that type player. You know what I mean? We only need a player of like that caliber that can come in and be the other piece that you need. Somebody who doesn't need to be a star, doesn't need the ball, but can give you the dirty work and give you like we need that kind of player. And then we end up going to get Russell Westbrook.
You
You know
talking
what I
about
mean?
players like Caruso, KCP, and Kuzma?
Yeah, exactly. Like sometimes, like my brother just said, sometimes we go for the name and
Well,
not the necessity.
I think we let those players. We panicked. We saw what Brooklyn did with Kyrie, KD, and Harden, and they panicked because me personally, I don't think that the 2020 team should have been broken up. But that's just me.
I don't either. No. I think the two mistakes I think that the Lakers have made, the front office made, is breaking up the 2020 team, bringing in Russell Westbrook, and firing Frank Vogel. To me, those have been the three biggest missteps of our front office, man. And like letting KCP, like that team would have been perfect to go against the Denver team. You know what I mean? And like Rodney just said, he said LA thrives on big names, and sometimes that's the problem. Like we got two big names. We don't need another big name. We got AD, we got LeBron. You got your big names. Let's go get a Jeremy Grant type player, and that's all we need.
Yeah.
Somebody of that caliber is all we need.
Like potential all-star caliber might not be all the way there, but just
yeah.
But I think we definitely need someone who could create off the dribble, create their own shot as well, because LeBron can be our sole playmaker. Like I tell people now, LeBron at this point, LeBron is dominant for 2 quarters.
Yeah, and now, we want to try to stay for the third and fourth quarter.
Yeah. So either LeBron is going to be good in the beginning of the game, or he's going to be good at the end of the game. But he can't do both no more.
No,
he can't do both no more. And sometimes he got to fight. Okay, if I don't start off aggressive, we might end up down by 20, and the second quarter. If I try to close or wait to the end, we might be down by 30 by that time.
Yeah.
And if I start off strong, I can't close because I'm burnt the hell out. So LeBron,
that's what I said. Somebody who can
2 quarters. He's LeBron for 2 quarters.
And also back to coaching, not to beat a dead horse, but I wanted to see how JJ is going to use AD in the fourth quarter, because he has been severely underused since since he was in Vogel. Because Vogel knew how to use him in the fourth quarter. I feel like Ham didn't know how to use him in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
The new rookie looks like he can. Austin Reeves, Rui can create off the dribble.
It was Rondo who pretty much saved Vogel from. I don't know why it's so complicated. What's the deal with them having a hard time giving AD the ball in the fourth quarter, especially down the stretch? It's very weird.
Which is another reason I hope Rondo comes, because I know Rondo gonna make sure that shit does not happen.
Because it seemed like that wasn't an issue in the world.
No. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out. We'll probably be back after the free agency is over. Once we kind of know what our squad is going to be looking like, we'll come back and do another show for you guys. Hey, man, y'all been popping in the comments. I appreciate everybody who was watching, everybody listening on Instagram, everybody watching over here on Facebook. And we even had some YouTubers pop in today and send some. So make sure y'all share, let everybody know. You know what I'm saying? It's Worldwide Laker Talk. We'll be back after the team gets solidified, unless some big breaking news happens in between there. But yeah, we want to thank everybody for watching Worldwide Laker Talk. We will be back soon. And if there's anything that y'all want to talk about, let me know. Daniel said Reddick sounds like he is a 3-point happy coach. I'm concerned about that. I agree, especially since we ain't got 3-point happy players. So it's going to be interesting to see, what position he gets us in. But the good thing is, even though he's a 3-point happy coach, he's also an analytics coach too. So that means I think he'll rely more on analytics than just the trends of what everybody else is doing. But like Brandon Red said, we'll see. Remains to be seen. So, we'll keep keep an eye out, and as soon as we find out what's going on with this daggone free agency, we'll be back. All right, we'll see you guys
Real quick
in a minute.
before we go, the 2 names.
My bad.
Real quick before you play me out, I've been waiting patiently.
You mother.
God damn, I was like on the Grammys playing me out. Wrap it up. Now, real quick, the two. I don't know what the veteran minimum is, but 2 players that I would want to see them sign for guards is Gary Harris from Orlando. Who's a catch and shoot guy, and Tyus Jones. So those are 2 guards that I had on my list that could probably get for that mid-level exception that can kind of help with the spot up shooting. And Tyus Jones has a good point guard mentality as well. He can come in and kind of run the offense as well. So don't know if how expensive he's going to be. He might be a little too expensive for us. But Tyus Jones and Gary Harris are my 2.
Okay.
So you play off now.
Real quick. How do you feel about?
Fuck that. Play him off too. You say real quick.
How do you feel about bringing Lonnie Walker back? Because Lonnie Walker didn't get no runs in Brooklyn. His stock didn't drop, and he needs a squad.
So I would bring Lonnie Walker back, but I would probably choose the 2 guys that Brandon Red chose before over Lonnie at this point. All right, cool. Till next time.
Hey, one more time. I'm just playing.
Now that was funny. That was funny. All right,
It's about what doing it big or going home. I'm focused on my plan. In my mind in the zone. I wanna be one of the greatest that ever made it. One of the best that did it. Coming with it. Understand this is all I think about. All I ever wanna do. All I ever worked for. So ain't no giving up. And up to the